I'm just going to go and briefly answer. I'm just going to go and briefly answer questions on the how to do the hackathon project written responses. Hope all is well. First of all, provide a written response that describes the overall purpose of the program. So just to remind you, my program actually selects a particular album given the genre, and then it shows the album cover right there, right? Okay? So right here, I said the program helps a user find an album to listen to based on the genre they select. Simple as that, right? Make it nice and simple. Question 2. Insert screenshots of 2 program code segments which contain a list being used in your program. The first program code segment should show how the data has been stored in the list. No problem. So mine was variable var genre list equals get column, Rolling Stone, 500 albums, genre. So notice I use the list that is being traversed right here. And what I mean by that is that's what's being filtered by, right? Is filtered by genre. So I use the genre list one. So I said I just chose line 2 right there. Okay? Simple as that. Next one. The second program code segment should show the data in the same list being used. That's why I chose genre list, because that's the ones that's being used, that's being traversed, right? So it's creating new data from the existing data or accessing multiple items in the list. All right, no problem. So I had right here, notice this is the for loop right here, going from 0 to the end of the genre list. And this is saying right here, if genre list I includes your favorite genre, then it's creating these filtered lists. So let me show you where that is in my particular program. That is right there. That is just the filtered function right there. It's the loop right there. So this is creating the new filtered lists, filtered albums, filtered artists, filtered art from the original list right there. Okay, and it's doing that if the genre list, if it's going through these whole genre lists. Now, if it happens to find the same genre that I select in the drop-down box, now I had to use includes because of the genre list. If you look at the data, has many things written down. So I used include. You might have done equals on yours. Then it's going to create these new filter lists. So there we go right there. Next. Okay, I write a written response that identifies the name of a list being processed, identifies what the data contained in the list is represented in your program, explains how the list manages complexity in your program by explaining how your program code would be written differently if you did not use a list. Data contained in the list. I use that same one that I just talked about before, the name of the genres in the data sets. Okay? The list manages complexity by. All right, this is a little more intricate in this answer. I said without the list, it would have been very difficult to filter by genre because you would have made separate variables for each entry in the list. Let's stop that. I don't want to have 2 long sentences here, okay? Then you would have had to match them with the selection from the drop-down box. This would have been complicated to keep track of, so using the genre list makes it easier to store the information and traverse it, okay? So, all right, all good there? So basically you have to write something here that says, why is it having a list easier? Of course, do you want to sit there and create 100, 200, 300 variables? Of course not. So having a list makes it easier. You can just look through the entire list, find the entries that have whatever your selection is, and then take those entries and create a filter list. So that's how it manages complexity, okay? Something about like that. Question 3, insert a screenshot of the function definition from your program. I use that same filter function right there, which I had already shown above, but this is the entire filter function. First, right here, it clears the filters. Then it actually, if you see right here, fave genre is your genre drop-down selection, and then it does the whole loop that we just did before, 0 to the end of genre list, and if the genre list I includes fave genre, it creates these filter lists. So, describe in general what the identify procedure does and how it contributes to the overall functionality of the program. The function assigns the user's favorite genre to the variable fave genre, right? And it does that right there where my cursor is right there, okay? Then traverses. Remember, traverses, think about it. It just means travels. It goes through every element, every single element in a list, okay? Traverses the entire genre list to find any genre that, sorry about the misspelling, includes this fave genre. Okay, so if I selected, for example, rock, any element that includes the rock genre, it's going to go and find. When this genre is found, the function creates 3 new filter lists based off this fave genre, right? These are the 3. You don't need to name them, just say it creates 3 new filter lists based off of that fave genre, okay? Simple as that. How does the function contribute to the overall functionality of this program? Okay, so there we are right there. The purpose of this program was to randomly select a movie that was from a particular genre. So this function does this by creating new lists that all have the same, that all have the genre that is selected, right? So again, if we select rock, if we select rap, it's making new lists based off of that selection. Okay, so that's it right there. Again, all these are pretty simple. The only one that was a little bit complicated was this second one right there. Okay, but it should be fairly straightforward right here. Let me know if you have any questions. You can always email me or ask during class. Have a great day. See you later. Okay.